made this boilerplate because I needed it, and I think you might too. Passkeys is the best way to authenticate users, and it should be your main authentication flow. But why is that rarely the case? Let's talk about the current state of authentication. And if you want to jump straight to the code and tech talk, here's a timestamp for you. When you authenticate towards your computer or phone, you use Face ID or Touch ID, and it takes about a second. Wouldn't it be great if you get this exact experience when logging into a web app? This actually has existed for a while, and it's called WebAuthn, or Passkeys. But first, let's compare it to the three main alternatives you generally see out in the wild. First one, memorized passwords. This one is totally insane in present time. Essentially, you're putting all the effort on the user, and you allow the user to make their account as insecure as they want. If they pick a bad password or reuse it for all their accounts, which they will do. Secondly, Magic Link. This one is definitely better. It's more secure by default, but it has some drawbacks. You have to wait for an email to arrive in the inbox, you have to switch apps to the inbox and then jump back. And you have no way of making sure that the user's inbox is actually secure. If the inbox is compromised, then your app is compromised. And the third one, Oauth. I think this one is actually better than the two mentioned. It's secure and you don't have to leave the app. But there are two big drawbacks with this method as well. Firstly, the user needs to have an account in at least one of your Oauth providers. And they currently need to be logged in the default browser of the device for a smooth login experience. Secondly, you add a third-party point of failure, and it's not within your control that your auth flow is always functional. So are Passkeys any better? Passkeys does seem to solve the mentioned problems. It's secure, fast and simple. Although it has one major drawback, account recoverability. With a lost device or broken face or fingerprint scanner, you're out of luck. And when you Google how to implement passkey authentication, all the results are from third-party services offering to handle the authentication for you via their APIs. So if you go that route, you get the same drawbacks of not controlling the auth flow yourself. So what's the conclusion? For me, the choice is simple. Passkeys is the way to go. If we can solve account recoverability and the self-hosting, then we should be golden. I've been looking for that solution for some time, but eventually had to build it myself. And that's how I ended up building Passkeyd. Passkeyd is a self-hosted passkey auth solution built on a modern tech stack including Next.js and Prisma. Unlike the commonalities, the solution uses passkeys as the primary method of authentication and offers secondary auth solutions only as a way to recover your account when losing or breaking your authenticator device. I built in support for Magic Link recovery if you want to sacrifice some security for user convenience. Alternatively, you could just give the user a really long recovery code to copy and store securely when the registration is completed. That's actually how crypto wallets handle recovery, and it makes things more secure than allowing email as a recovery option. And there's built-in support for that too. If you're interested in this, then you can check out passkeyd.com and demo.passkeyd.com to see a live demo. And write a comment on this video or shoot me an email if you have any other questions. Now let's take a look at the boilerplate. So it's a full stack TypeScript application built on Next.js with the latest features like app router and server actions. The database access is through Prisma, which allows interfacing with MySQL, Postgres and SQLite and some more. And it has the ability to export the schema if you want to instead use Drizzle or something more bare metal. You can find all the client-side auth logic in components/auth, and the session management is handled in middleware.ts, where we manage the JWT tokens. On the server side, all the server actions are placed in a folder called Actions, so that you can find all the request handlers. All the database access is in the DB folder, and you have some helper functions for sessions and recovery alongside that. I tried to be as modular as possible so that you can have freedom and confidence to change out parts. And you can always try sending me a request to add more options in a separate branch. I'm happy to help with that. Thanks for watching, and check out passkeyd.com for more information and documentation, and I wish you good luck.